Okay, so now I want to talk about what our next chapter is, right? So we have an investment property as part of the portfolio. We have our beautiful home, but
You've
there may be a
leased.
day. What's that?
You've leased.
Yes, exactly, exactly. But now there's always that opportunity to expand, right? There's a lot of just opportunity when it comes to owning real estate. And if Karen and we go down that path, if we want to acquire another unit, Karen's done an amazing job, and just really we got a beautiful home with everything that we wanted. All the tile came in.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So I feel we totally feel for you that are building a home that where there's delays and everything else. We built ours and
appliances, reselections, reselections times 2.
Yes, and actually it's funny because so obviously being a lender, when it came time to making this house a home and buying stuff for it like furniture and everything else, Karen says that what did you say? I put you in what was it?
I lived with the police. I wasn't allowed to do anything. I wasn't allowed to buy anything for the house. Couldn't even look sideways at anything.
Yeah. That's true. That's
true. The minute we closed, in the car, I bought our television for our living room.
Literally.
There was a specific TV that I wanted, and I bought it. And you told me I had to wait till the funds were received.
Until we closed, until we heard from title that your loan is closed.
So then I went shopping.
Yep.
On the side of the road.
Went shopping.
You also got a flat tire.
We did. But that's supposed to be good luck, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely rain on a wedding day, flat tire on a closing day.
Exactly, yeah. So, but
check. Yeah.
Right. We got your key.
Yes, but we had PermaSmile, and it's like, like a meteor could have hit our car, and we still would have been thrilled because we were able to
Caroline
close.
Still would have picked us up.
Totally.
Yes,
Realtor, Uber driver, key grabber, what have you, I'll do it.
Exactly. And, so as I was saying, so the reason why I was the financial police was because we couldn't take on additional debt, right? So we didn't want to have any more any credit runs. We didn't want to add any obligations to our debt to income ratio. We wanted to make sure that everything was just very, very smooth, very tight. And we were not going to make any purchases. So once we closed, then we were able to do that.
At that point, we've been giving Caroline all this credit for all that she did to help us through the process, but you also helped us through the process. So you could not be our loan officer because of conflict of interest and whatnot, but you were certainly a close advisor to the process and all of the nuances with navigating the home buying process from a loan perspective. It is not the same loan process that it was 20 years ago or 30 years ago. So much has changed. It's so much more intense. The scrutiny is at a whole additional level. So really having you as the police and an advisor was instrumental in our success.
Yeah, we use
that, for sure.
Right.
Guiding.
Yeah, so we use guaranteed rate. So we use my company, and we use our the employee group, and we did have an opportunity to work with David Weekley's in-house lender. But obviously knowing who you're working with and the company and how it works, and we didn't know what interest rates were going to do, right? So if they all of a sudden started climbing up and our home wasn't going to be completed until 4 months out, we could have what Caroline and I talked about was we talked about the extended rate lock option, right, where we could have locked in that rate early on, and it wouldn't be where our file would go to underwriting at the very last minute. We actually sent it in. I asked the loan officer who was helping us. I said, Steve, can you send it back through underwriting? I want to get another pulse on this. And he did that a couple times just to make sure that we were still on track, right? And you couldn't do that with the builder's lender. They basically are lined up and sending the deals and locking the loans when the home is on its way to completion, right? And that's what's nice to have that independence. when it comes to working with a lender that's not tied to the seller, right? I mean,
Exactly.
So, so with our home here, Karen, once we were able to pull the trigger, and Karen did an amazing job in just decorating. Everything is wonderful. We've got the new blinds, all of those things.
Value add.
Adding value, right? And the shower door.
Shopping.
Yeah, so
she was
shopping.
allowed to shop again.
We've added value to the home, and now, if we wanted to lease this property, we have that opportunity, right? So we can actually use the rental income to help qualify to go buy something else, and to make sure that all happens is. What we would do is we would, the underwriter, or actually the appraiser, they would do a rental survey, and we're able to use 75% of that income towards qualifying, and that'll be part of our regular income. And then we could go buy something else, right? Maybe something with a pool and, maybe a little bigger yard, all of those things.
Baby steps.
But it's all for the dogs, right? So it's all
Right.
it's all for our little guys. And so that's kind of the next chapter. I think is we were thinking originally this is going to be our forever home, but maybe not.
Yeah, and something about having a single family home versus a condo. So we had been going down the condo path, but in terms of this ability to rent out the home later, a lot of condos have percentages of owner occupied that are required per the HOA documents. So we're not really subjected to that in our community. We cannot Airbnb in our community. That's only long-term rentals. But as the owner of the home, it really does afford us that option if we got to the point where we wanted that.
Yeah, so our place here it's 0 lot lines, but it is a detached single family home, right? So it's not a condo. We're not associated with that, but we do have an HOA, right?
So you can rap to your heart's delight and no one hears.
Lucky neighbors, though.
Right.